everyone, let's start off by getting Steam and downloading Aim Labs. Welcome to the first video in the course where we'll be going over aim training. I'm going to be showing you the routine that you'll be using to warm up for Valorant. In this video we'll go over each task in the playlist, and then we'll talk about how you should approach each task and the way that these tasks are going to help you improve in Valorant. The first thing you want to do is go into your settings and check your sense. Make sure that your sensitivity matches your in-game Valorant sensitivity. Once you're done setting up your sensitivity, you're going to want to click at the top where it says custom, go over to playlist, then in the bottom left, search up Donkey Kong Comp Warm Up. Don't forget the 2 Y's. Now let's begin. The first task that we'll be covering is Circle Shot Ultimate. This is our first tracking task, and this one is designed to help you work on crosshair placement and tracking. You'll notice the orb is head level, so you want to move your crosshair from left to right and try and limit any up and down movements. For this task, I want you to focus on accuracy. Don't go too fast. The second task is Motion Track Ultimate. For this task, you'll be again working on your tracking. The objective of this task is to track the red orbs and hover over them until they disappear. As quickly as possible, you want to reset your crosshair by shooting the middle orb and continue repeating this pattern. On this task, I want you to go for accuracy and not speed. Make sure you track the orbs until they're gone before flicking back to the middle. Your final tracking task will be Strafe Track Ultimate, and the purpose of this task is to work on crosshair placement and of course tracking. You don't need to click the orb like in the first task, but similar to the previous one, you just hover over the red orb and track it until it turns green. Try and work on accuracy and keeping your mouse steady. You don't want to be moving off of headshot level crosshair placement, so try not to go up and down as much as just move from left to right. Motion Shot Precision will be your first accuracy task. During this task, you'll now be working on trying to flick to the moving orbs as quickly as possible while still being accurate. Once you flick to the orbs, flick back to the middle of your screen to reset your crosshair. This task will help you more quickly react to your enemies and their utility in Valorant, and you'll also get the most out of this task if you focus on accuracy, not how fast you can flick to the targets. This is one of the harder tasks on the playlist, so take your time with it and really try to focus on just tracking the orbs, clicking them, and flicking back to the middle. Six Shot Ultimate is your next precision task, and this task will help you with your micro adjustments in game. During this task, I want you to focus on moving the closest distance you can as fast as possible, and try to go for areas where there is a cluster of 3 to 4 dots. You can make lines or small patterns and go for those to help you go quicker. Doing this task will help you with your adjustments in game and being able to hit micro flicks. As a result, you'll get way more headshots. Motion shot speed is where we now work on your speed and accuracy to get you truly warmed up for your ranked games. At this point in the playlist, you've worked on your tracking, crosshair placement, and precision. Now we're going to work on your speed. This task will be a true warm-up for your competitive games, and you'll be flicking like a demon in your ranked games because of it. This first week or so of it, I want you to take it slow and just work on accuracy. But after about a week, break out the hand warmers, and on this task, I want you going for speed and precision. Grid Shot Ultimate is a favorite warm-up map of many professional Valorant players because you feel truly warmed up after just a couple of games. That's why we'll be ending our playlist with Grid Shot Ultimate, and you're going to play it twice in a row to end out the playlist. Don't get lazy on your mechanics during this task though, as you should be focusing on accuracy and speed while doing this task. Really push yourself to go faster every time you're playing this task, but try not to sacrifice your accuracy for it. Keeping it above around a 90% is a good idea. By the time you're done with this, you'll be ready to warm up in game or jump straight into ranked. Aim train every day if possible, but at least 5 times a week minimum for the best results. After the first couple weeks, you should notice a significant increase in your ability to track enemies, flick to their heads quickly, and move from target to target quicker than ever before. I'm sure you'll notice yourself also winning more of your ranked games and doing better in your death matches and TDMs. This warm-up routine takes an average of 10 to 12 minutes to complete, with small breaks between the different tasks. This gives you plenty of time to get it done daily, and if you can't do it every day, remember to try to do it at least 5 times a week. Use this video as reference, and make sure to watch as your stats and aim labs increase on a weekly basis. I hope you enjoyed this first section of the course, and if you really want this to work for you, remember consistency is key. You do have to stick to this for a while to see the results in Valorant. Alright guys, in part 2 of this course, we're gonna stop talking about aim training and aim labs and move into aim training in Valorant. You're gonna want to do this using deathmatch and TDM. While aim training in Valorant, you're going to want to focus on a few things that you are also working on while you're doing the aim training and aim labs. You're going to work on your crosshair placement, your speed, and your accuracy. Make sure that you're on the person and try to make sure that you're aiming at their head before shooting. The weapons that you should be using in team deathmatch and in deathmatch are going to be the Sheriff, because this gun does 150 damage with 1 bullet, and it's really good for working on your crosshair placement. The second weapon that you should be using in your death matches and TDMs is the Vandal. The Vandal is a great rifle because it does 1 tap bullet to the head, so you should try to use this in your death match and TDMs to get you warmed up for in-game And it'll also help you work on your mechanics because you'll be less inclined to spray with this gun. Always make sure to try to keep your crosshair at headshot level, and make sure that you're shooting at the enemies and not focus too much on your crosshair, but try to focus on the head of the enemy player. I've noticed that this helps me out a lot. You might be wondering about other weapons like the Phantom and using those during your aim training in Valorant. You can use these weapons, but they are not going to be as effective as using the Vandal or using the Sheriff. These weapons, because they are one-tap headshot, they help give you a reward system where you get a kill instantly, and it enforces good behavior because now you'll always be sort of aiming at head level. And even with the Phantom, it sometimes does 140 at the headshot level, and then it takes a second bullet to actually kill an enemy. So you don't want to use that during aim training because you might be more inclined to spray at the chest instead of hitting that first headshot. Now that we've discussed what guns we should be using while we're doing our aim training in Valorant, let's talk a little bit about the fights we should be taking and how we should be peeking. What you're going to want to do is take realistic fights. So you should try holding angles, jiggle swinging, and sometimes wide swinging while playing deathmatch and TDM so that you can practice working on these different fights and work on your mechanics in game. Whenever I do an in-depth VOD with somebody and give them advice on how to improve in Valorant, I always talk about being aggressive while they're playing TDMs and death matches as well. This means don't just sit there and passively hold angles. Take fights, learn what you can do and what you can't do in Valorant, and that's going to help teach you the mechanics that you're going to need when we apply that into competitive mode and when we want to grind that rank ladder and get up higher. And let's say if you're trying to get better and you think that you can fight an immortal level player, well, you should be able to swing that player and beat them in an aim duel. So when you're aim training in game, you're going to want to take aggressive fights like this so that you can learn to win those fights and you can learn what you can do and what you can't do while you're playing Valorant. Alright, welcome to part 3 of the video. What we're going to be talking about here right now is the most important thing that you can possibly do, and I want you to really take a lot away from this part of the course, is you need to be playing ranked. At the end of this video, we'll go into exactly how much rank you should be playing, but for now let's talk about a little bit of the reasons of why ranked is so important. 1 is it helps you work on your game sense. 2, your communication. 3, it helps you work on the overall timing in the game. You understand how long it takes to plant, how long it takes for the bomb to explode. It understands the buy phase, the in-between rounds. It really helps you work on the overall flow of the game. The next reason why it's important is it'll help you develop strats. You'll start to understand what people mean when they mean, let's 5-man hit A, let's go A short, let's do a split, let's do a default. A lot of these terms that are really common in Valorant, you won't truly understand how they work until you play the game and you play ranked. Once you play ranked and you start to learn some of these adaptations of the game, it'll really help you out. Not to mention, once you pick your couple of agents that you're going to really work on in the game and try to get better at, you're going to need to learn their utility. This isn't going to be easy and this is going to take some time, so that's why you have to play ranked so that you can truly get better at your agent. I really wanted to show you guys just how much rank some of your favorite players are playing. So I went back here and I looked at the different episodes, and you'll see I'm just scrolling through the top best of the best players here. You'll see most of them have hundreds of games, and that's how they got into Radiant. They had to play a lot to get to where they're at. You may be saying, well, I don't want to become Radiant, I'm just trying to get better. My point still remains the same. If you want to try to get better at Valorant, the key thing you need to be doing is playing more ranked. On top of aim training, playing ranked is really where you're going to learn the most and improve faster as a player. You now might be wondering how much ranked, and that's the perfect question that you should be asking right now. The truth is that that's a complicated question. In my personal opinion, you should be playing at least 10 hours of ranked a week, if you're trying to steadily improve and reach your rank goals. However, everybody has different time schedules, they have different things going on in their life, and the amount of rank that you're going to play is going to be up to you as a player and what your goals are. Your favorite streamer or your favorite pro player, for instance, they might be putting in upwards of 40 to 60 hours a week worth of their time just trying to become a better Valorant player. That's through scrims, practice, tournaments, playing competitive, playing death matches, and aim training. So if you're not ready to put in that much time or you're not that ambitious, that's okay. What I'm recommending for you to do is play ALAMs for about 10 minutes a day, deathmatch and TDMs for about 15 minutes a day, and then play ranked for about 3 hours a day, or 3 games a day, however you want to look at it. Each game can take between 30 minutes to about an hour if you have a really long game, so scheduling out about 3 hours of your time makes for plenty of time to play ranked. Another way of thinking about this is that you should be playing 10 ranked games a week. If you want to spread that out evenly, it's about 3 days, 3 games per day. One day you play a little extra and play a 4th game. Or if you want to get that all in 2 days, that's personally up to you, but make sure that you're not playing while you are fatigued, or if you're too tired, or if you're dehydrated. Just make sure to get off, because you do need to give yourself a break every once in a while. When you're playing these ranked games, I want you to work on your teamwork. Something to pay attention to with teamwork is just making sure that you have good communication. You're calling out what you're seeing, what's happening, and you can even come up with plans for your team to do. This is called IGLing, and these strats can help you win a game. If your teammates are toxic and don't want to work with you though, it's alright. You can always just mute them and try to just focus on your own improvement as a player, and don't worry too much about what your teammates have to say, especially if it's not helpful towards winning the round. The next thing I'm going to talk with you guys about is communication with your teammates. Try to bring up team morale so that you can win more of your ranked games. Focus on the next round and what you can do to win. Try not to blame your teammates and make sure to bring a positive attitude to your team. An example of good communication is calling out enemy utility, sound cues, what you're holding, where you want to go and attack, what site you're defending on defense, and hyping up your teammates every time they make a good play. This sort of communication will win you games. An example of bad communication would be blaming your teammates when they make a mistake, using death comms, which is essentially when you talk when somebody is trying to play and you're dead so they can't hear what they're doing. Another example of bad comms is if you're actually not communicating at all. To keep it simple, bad communication is anything that ruins your team morale, and good communication is anything that boosts your team morale and helps you win games. Try to make sure that what you're doing is not perceived as toxic, because this sort of communication will cost you games. Another way that you can learn about good communication in Valorant is if you want to play at a really high level and have really good communication, you can go onto YouTube and watch professional comms of teams playing. Some of my favorite to look at are Fnatic videos of their comms, and then Sentinels also have some really funny ones, but they do have serious parts where you can see them winning rounds through their communication as a team. Whether you decide to play with friends or to play solo queue and ranked is going to be up to you, but we'll just go over a little bit of the pros and cons of each. Some of the pros of solo queue are that you're playing by yourself, so you can really just focus in on your own gameplay and what you can be doing to improve as a player. Some of the benefits of stacked queue are that you get to play with friends, and because you're playing with friends and you're all have the same mindset of grinding and getting better, at least you know that your teammates in ranked, since it's sort of random, you know that your friends and you are at least going to be trying your hardest, and that's always a plus. However, some of the cons of solo queue are that you don't know who you're going to be playing with, so you could get teammates that don't comm or aren't trying, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do with that. It's out of your control. One of the cons about playing in a stat queue is that, let's say if you are a lot higher skill than one of your teammates or your friends, their MMR is going to be bringing down your overall competition of your lobby, and now you're playing in a lobby where either you're too good to be in that lobby or you're not good enough to be in that lobby, instead of the game putting you sort of where you really truly belong. By the way, this is called MMR and it is different from your RR, which is your ranked rating. When it comes to playing with friends or playing solo queue, that's a decision that you'll need to come up to and make on your own. But now at least you know some of the pros and cons when it comes to making that sort of choice. When I first did Immortal 3, I did that solo queue, but I do play on my account with friends from time to time. So it's really not that big of a deal as long as you're playing ranked and you're trying your hardest. Just make sure that you're not getting boosted, because then you're just going to be in lobbies that are way too hard for you, and that's not going to be fun at all. So try to play with people that are around the same skill level as you to avoid that. So the truth is when you play ranked, sometimes you're going to run into toxic teammates. These people are going to make you really angry and it can affect your mental. I want you, when you're playing ranked, to try to keep a good mental. If you've had a ranked game and it's tilted you, maybe it is time to just get off for the day, take a little break, maybe take a breather, and then come back and play again later. Some good ways to avoid toxic teammates in ranked are you can mute them, you can not respond to them, or you can try to make sure that you yourself aren't being toxic. So make sure you try to play your ranked games with a positive attitude and just see how much that helps. Everybody will start trying if you're trying. Some other advice for making sure that you keep a good mental while playing Valorant is to stay hydrated, make sure you're getting plenty of sleep, exercise, and that you're not playing when you're too stressed. Yes, this game can be a good way of de-stressing, but if you're already in a really bad mood, maybe playing ranked isn't a good idea for you and you should save it until tomorrow. And don't forget to remember, Valorant is just a game, and you will get better over time, but try to have some perspective when you go on the inevitable loss streak. You will also have win streaks. Now that we've covered some of the fundamentals in ranked and how I think you should approach it, let's talk about goal setting. What I want you to do now is try to set a realistic goal of what you want to accomplish in ranked. So let's say if you're gold right now and you want to become ascendant so that you can play with your friends who aren't ascendant, let's set that goal and let's write it down. I strongly believe that if you follow the aim training routine and you play comp at least 10 hours a week, that you'll be able to reach these goals that you've set for yourself. Try to make sure that you're not being unrealistic. Let's say if you are in silver right now, try not to set a goal to hit radiant by within the next 3 months. That's sort of unrealistic. What you want to do is try to set a realistic goal that you can actually obtain. Just to clarify, I'm not saying that you can't hit Radiant if you're silver right now, but remember how much work and how much time and effort that's going to take. You're going to have to play ranked for more than 10 hours a week if that's your goal. There's going to be a quiz at the end of this course, and this quiz is going to help you be able to get a baseline of your stats and aim labs, set a goal for yourself, and you can even get a schedule going of when might be the best times for you to play ranked, to do your aim training, and to just put in a little extra time in deathmatch and TDMs. I'll be giving you an example of a schedule that I think that you should follow if you have the time for it, but it'll be up to you to see how you can make it work around your own schedule. Feel free to come back and watch this video anytime you want as a reference. And you'll also have access to my Discord where you can DM me questions, and I hope that this course is useful for you. I think if you put in the effort and you put in the time to actually do this aim training, to play your death matches, your TDMs, and then to go in and most importantly, make sure you're playing ranked and applying what you've learned during your aim training, I think that is how you will see the best results. Results might take you a few weeks, even a couple of months to reach your goal, but that's why we're going to set realistic goals and we're going to try to achieve them together. I want to thank you for taking the course, and you can join the Discord with the link below for more coaching. Or if you just want to ask a question about your current aim routine, or if you have any questions about this course, you can also reach out to me in the Discord. I want to wish you guys good luck on your aim training routine and your goals for climbing the rank ladder.